So welcome. In this short video tutorial we're going to look at multiplying tens and units by units, and then we're also going to look at multiplying tens and units by tens and units. So what we're doing here is we're building on our multiplication skills and we're moving towards long multiplication. So the first example I'm going to give you is I'm going to multiply tens and units by units, and the example I'll take is I'm going to multiply 19 by 7. So a couple of things here important obviously is that we lay out our numbers in the correct squares. And then what we're going to do is we're going to multiply 7 times 9, and then we're going to multiply 7 times 10. So let's start. So 7 times 9, well, that is 63. So I place my 3 directly underneath here. And because my 60 is too big to go in the units space, I carry it over into my 10 space. Then what I do is I multiply the 7 by the 10, and that gives me 70. And then I add the 60, and 70 and 60 gives me 130. So I place my 3 under the 10s, and then I move my 1 over into the next square, which is the hundredths space, and my answer is 133. Okay, let's try that again. So we multiply tens and units by a unit, and this time I'll multiply 34, and I'm going to multiply that by 8. So again, let's multiply the 8 by the unit. So 8 fours are 32, so I put down my 2, and because my 30 is too big to go in the unit space, I carry it across. And then 8 times 30, well, that's 240, plus the other 30, that's 270. So I place my 7 in under the 10s, and I must move my 200 over into the hundred space. And so my answer is 272. Okay, the next step then, I'm going to multiply tens and units by tens and units. And this is where we get the concept of long multiplication from. So I'm going to start with a nice easy one. I'm going to multiply 23 by 14. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to multiply 23 by 4, and then we're going to multiply 23 by 10. And it's crucial that you line things up in the squares here. So let's start. So what's 4 times 3? Well, that's 12. So I put my 2 in there, and I carry across my 10. 4 20s are 80, plus the other 10, that's going to give me 90. Now the next step then takes place on the next line. This is where I multiply 23 times 10. And so it's crucial then that we put a 0 in here, because we're multiplying by 10. And you'll see why. So this is 10. Well, 10 times 3, that gives me 30. So I put my 3 in there. And then 10 times 20, well, that gives me 200. And I put my 2 in there. The next step then is to add the two of them together. So we just add directly above one another. So 2 plus 0, that gives me 2. 9 plus 3, that gives me 12. So I put down my 2 and carry my 1. And 2 plus 1 gives me 3. And so my answer then is 322. Okay, we'll take one more example of multiplying tens and units by tens and units. So I just need to bring my screen down a little bit here. Actually, I'm just going to rub out my first example over here. And we'll try it again. Okay, so this time I'm going to multiply 67. So I'm going to put up my place value, and I'm going to multiply that by 36. And so again, what I'm doing is I'm going to multiply 67 by 6, and that will go on the first line. I'll put my by 6 here. And then 67 by 30, and that will go in the next line. And then I'm going to add them together. So let's start. So what's 6 sevens? Well, that's 42. Let's put down your 2 and carry your 4. 6 sixes are 36. Plus 4, that gives me 40. So I put my 0 in here and put my 4 over here. Because it's too big, that's a 400, it's too big to go in the 10 spot. Then I'm going to multiply 67 times 30, so it's crucial that I put in a 0 here, so that I know I'm multiplying by 30. So what's 30 times 70? Well, 3 sevens are 21, put down your 1, and carry your 2. And then 3 sixes are 18, and plus 2 is 20. So put in my 0, and this time my 2 has to move over here, and I'm in the 1000 spot. And then what I need to do now is to add them together. So 0 plus 2, that's 2, 1 plus 0 is 1, 0 plus 4 is 4, and 2 plus 0 is 2. And so my answer is 2412.